Hello everyone. Today we are going to read a true story that is Weathering the Storm in Ersama, written by Harsh Mandor, an Indian author and a social activist who works for homeless people and also the street children. He is born on 17 April 1955. So the story is about that super cyclone that hit in Odisha in October 1999. Ersama is a place in the in the district of Jagatsinghpur of Odisha. So in that due to that super cyclone, how thousands of people died and and it also devastated hundreds of villages. And the story is about this is about a young boy named Prashant who was marooned on the roof of a house, and on the third day he decided to go to his village. So whether he found his family or family members or not, let's read the story. So, Weathering the Storm in Ersama. So on 27th October 1999, 7 years after his mother's death, his means Prasant's mother's death, Prasant had gone to the block headquarters of Ersama, a small town in coastal Odisha, some 18 kilometers from his village, and to spend the day with a friend. So he went to spend some time with his friends. So in the evening, what happened? A dark, menacing storm quickly gathered, and heavy and insistent means continuous rain filled the darkness. Ancient trees, the old strong trees, even they were also uprooted and crashed to the earth. The angry waters. So suddenly, all of a sudden, this happened in the environment. Suddenly, black clouds gathered in the sky, and the continuous rain filled water is everywhere. The angry waters swirled into his friend's house neck deep. The building was a brick and mortar and was strong enough to survive the devastation of the wind's velocity of 350 km per hour. So the great destruction wrought by the cyclone and the surge of the ocean continued for the next 36 hours. So continuous rainfall wind that continued for 36 hours. Although wind speed and had reduced somewhat by the next morning. So Prasant and his friends' family had taken a refuge on the roof. You can see in the textbook that how they are taking they were taking rest on the roof of the house. Prashant will never forget the shock he experienced at his first glimpse of the devastation wrought by super cyclone. So it was a new experience, unusual experience for Prashant, that all of a sudden how it happened, everything means how the environment got changed, everything. There he found water. So, he saw bloated animal carcasses and human corpses. Corpse means corpses means dead bodies floated in every direction. Two coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house, so which was a blessing for them because they had to that are two coconut trees that they helped them from starving in the several days that followed. So for the next 2 days, Prasant sat huddled with his friends' family in the open on the rooftop. Can be seen in the picture. They froze in the cold and incessant rain, and the only thought that flashed through his mind was whether his family had survived the fury of the super cyclone. So he stayed there 2 days on the top of on the rooftop of his at his friend's house. But he was only thinking about that what would have happened to his family members. Then 2 days later, the rain ceased. Prashanta was determined to seek out his family without further delay. He was also a little bit excited to means to know about that what would have happened to the family members. He equipped himself with a long sturdy stick and then started on his 18-kilometer expedition back to his village through the swollen flood water. You can see in the picture given in page number 39. It was a journey he would never forget. So by holding the stick, he started his expedition, 18-kilometer expedition back to his village. So after some distance, he was relieved to find two friends of his uncle who were also returning to their village. as they waded through the waters. Waded means that like that, just like a boat, that like a boat then he used at the time of rowing a boat. So he waded through the water. The scenes they witnessed grew more and more macabre. They had to push away many human bodies. So in that swollen water, so many he found so many dead bodies floating. They had to push away. That means that uncle's friend and Prashant. They had to push away many human bodies, even the dead bodies of dogs, goats, and cattle. So he was sure that his family could not have survived this catastrophe. So by seeing the situation, the devastation, dangerous situation everywhere, he found dead bodies of human beings, dogs, goats. So he was sure that his family members will be no more. So eventually Prasant reached his village Kalikuda. So his heart went cold. Where their home once stood, there were only remnants of its roof. So he found some parts of his roof. Then some belongings were caught and twisted in the branches of the tree. Then Prasant decided to go to the Red Cross shelter to look for his family. So when he reached there, first he saw in the crowd was his maternal grandmother. Then he saw his extended family and who came and gathered around him. He hugged him tight in relief. So by seeing some his family members, he got relaxed. Then his brother and sister, his uncles, aunts were also there. They all also seemed to be there. Then next stanza, you see that Prashant, all of 19 years, though he was only 19 years old boy, he decided to do something for the how to save the people from starvation, hunger, so means from this devastation. So he decided to step in as a leader of his village. So he organized a group of youths of his village and elders also to pressurize the merchant to part with his rice. So he and along with some other youths, other boys of his village and some elders, they went to the merchant to bring some rice. So branches, they collected also branches of from fallen trees, which was also very difficult for them to lit fire as it was wet. So finally they did something. They cooked that rice, and what they did that for the first time in 4 days, the survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. So rice was prepared and they had rice in that shelter. The second task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filled urine, vomit and floating carcasses, dead bodies. So then first point is let everyone to have something in their stomach. Second was how to clean that area, that a shelter area, because it was full of dead bodies, smell, urine, vomit, all these things. So on the fifth day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels. So he told some children to keep the utensils on their stomach to communicate to the helicopter that they were hungry. You can see in the picture also how the children are lying by keeping the utensils on their belly. Prasant found that a large number of children had been orphaned. He brought them. So he got so many children were orphaned, and he brought them together and put up a polythene sheet. You can see in the picture also, put up a polythene sheet shelter for them, and women were mobilized to look after them. So some of the children they got orphaned, they lost their parents, and some women were engaged to take care of those orphan children. So he pursued the women to start working, and some women also he told some women to engage themselves in the food for work program and started by an NGO. And for the children, he organized some sports events. He himself loved to play cricket, and he told the children to involve them to divert their mind towards from the devastation towards to some sports event. Prasant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows and children to pick up the broken pieces of their lives. So his motto was to engage the widow and the orphan children, so that they will not recall their, they will not they will forget their what happened to their what happened in the super cyclone. So, however, this step was successfully resisted, as it was felt that in such institutions, children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. So, what did Prashant do? Prashant's group believed orphans should be resettled in their own community itself, possibly in the new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. So what this was a great war. Those who were widow and childless also, they have lost their husband, at the same time they have lost their children. So those women, they were engaged to take care of the children, those have lost their parents. So that the widows, they can, by taking care of these orphan children, they can forget what happened in this devastation of the super cyclone. So here how he tried to got involve the widows and the orphan children by taking care of each other. So it is 6 months after the devastation of the super cyclone. This time Prashant's wounded spirit has healed simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain, and in this way he though he was 19 years old, he forgot his own pain because he got busy in taking care of others. His handsome youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest hour of grief. So his handsome youthful face is what the widows and the orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest hour of grief. So see that how though he was 19 years only old, that how he took as a leader, he that he organized some youth volunteers to take care, and how that without losing his hope, without losing his belief in himself, that how he did everything possible in the great devastation, the great super cyclone, how he settled his some of the people of his village. So what did you learn from this story? This is the actual story. So when any adverse situation occurs, how we should not lose hope, and what we have to work as a leader. We have to take care of ourselves at the same time, as well as for others also, like Prashant. So hope you understood that not to lose hope, how to confess the situation, any adverse situation, and how to win over that. And surely if you will have patience, if you will have confidence, one can surely win over, also surely overcome on any obstacle or on any adverse situation. Thank you.